What is culture? Culture is a shared belief, norms, values, and symbols that guide everyday life. Belief is our understandings about what is true. Cultural symbols, these may be physical such as national flags or holy artifacts. In the workplace, office size and location can serve as cultural symbols. Cultural norms is a prescribed and proscribed behaviors, telling us what we can do and what we cannot. Cultural values is a values that tell us such things as what is good, what is beautiful, what is holy, and what are legitimate goals in life.
There are three levels of culture. First, national culture. Second, business culture. Third, occupational and organizational culture. National culture, the dominant culture within the political boundaries of the nation-state. For example, Malaysia. We have more than one major culture group and ethnic in our country. Business culture, the norms, value, and belief that pertain to all aspects of doing business in a culture. Business cultures tell people the correct, acceptable ways to conduct business in a society. They focus on how national culture influence business operation. Occupational and organizational culture. Occupational culture, distinct culture of professional groups such as physicians, lawyers, accountants, and craft people. However, the organizational culture, they concern how their members learn to cope with external and internal problems.
3 diagnostic models to aid the multinational manager. First, Hofstede model of national culture. Second, Global Leadership and Organizational Behavior Effectiveness Project. Third, 7D Culture Model.
Hofstede model. First, power distance. Second, uncertainty avoidance. Third, individualism. Fourth, masculinity. Fifth, long-term orientation. First is power distance. Power distance is the expectations regarding equality among people. When there is a small power distance between employee and director, there is a small position gap between them and vice versa. Second is uncertainty avoidance. Uncertainty avoidance is how people react to what is different and dangerous. When a country they have a high uncertainty avoidance, they have more rules as they cannot accept risks. Third is individualism, which is the relationship between the individual and the group in society. High individualism people, they focus more on individual achievements than on group achievements. Masculinity. Masculinity is expectations regarding gender roles. In a high masculinity society, males are more favorable to get high position jobs as compared to females. The last, long-term orientation. Long-term orientation is basic orientation towards time. Long-term orientation stress more on good social relationship that leads to long-term achievements.
2 dimensions unique to the Globe National Culture Framework. Performance orientation is the degree to which the society encourages societal members to innovate, to improve their performance, and to strive for excellence. Human orientation, which is an indication of the extent to which individuals are expected to be fair, altruistic, caring, and generous.
There are 7D cultural dimensions model. First, universalism as particularism. Second, collectivism as individualism. Third, neutral as affective. Fourth, diffuse as specific. Fifth, achievement as ascriptions. Sixth, time orientations. 7. Internal as external control. Universalism versus particularism is pertain to how people from a culture treat each other based on equally applied rules rather than personal relationships, which can seen from the picture from US and Singapore. Individualism versus collectivism. The focus on group membership versus individual characteristics. Individualism focus on me or I, while collectivism focus on we. Affective versus neutral is the range of feelings outwardly expressed in the society. The difference between neutral and affective Neutral do not reveal tough of feelings, while affective feeling and tough reveal verbally and non-verbally. Specific versus diffuse is types of involvement people have with each other, ranging from all aspects of life to specific components. The difference between specific and diffuse: specific is direct in relationship, while diffuse is indirect and subtle in relationships. Achievement versus ascriptions is how a society grants or gives status. The difference between achievement and ascriptions: achievement is used title only when relevant, while ascriptions is use of titles common and expected.
Time orientation, the way culture deal with the past, present and future. This different in how people deal with time, and this difference become apparent when people from different culture engage in business exchange. Internal versus external control. Belief regarding whether one control one's own fate. This cultural dimension is perhaps best reflected in how people interact with their natural environment.
Lastly, caveats and cautious. First, cultural relativism. Second, cultural paradox. Third, stereotyping. Last, ethnocentrism. Cultural paradox is when individual situations seem to contradict cultural prescription. For example, Latin America's culture prefer warm interpersonal relationship. Meanwhile, Costa Rica prefer automatic tellers over human tellers. Stereotyping is when one assumes that all people within a culture behave, believe, feel, and act the same. For example, people assume that all women can cook, but actually not every woman can cook. Ethnocentrism is when people from one culture believe that theirs are the only correct norms, values, and beliefs. The ethnocentric person may look down on people from other cultures and may even consider them backward, dirty, weird, or stupid. Cultural relativism is philosophical position arguing cultures, no matter how different, are correct and moral for the people of those cultures. For example, Malaysian typical breakfast is nasi lemak, but in US it might seem strange. As conclusion, Chapter 2 consists of what is culture, 3 levels of culture, Hofstede model, globe dimension, 7D cultural dimension, and caveats and cautious.